stress. What is it? So what comes to mind when you think of stress? So I've had a pretty full-on day today and I've just picked up the kids. I have 4 boys, but 3 of them are home right now. So yeah, picture it. A lot of people ask me, how do you do these sessions when you're at home? You probably hear my dogs barking and the kids and I must just zone out. So one strategy to manage stress. So when we think of the word stress, what comes to mind? So I'll just give you a few minutes just to think about that. You know, as I'm talking, just think, what does stress mean to you? Is the first thing that come to mind, is it in a negative light or in a positive light? So for me, I think stress is a mindset. You have to also look at how stress impacts on your body, because that's an important part as well. Our body does react. So what is it? If you can look up many definitions, but pretty much stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand, any kind. And you know where you've had things happen to you and you've gone through okay and you thought, yeah, I'll go through that. Like you might have had a really bad run, you know, of stuff going on in your family, money issues, and for somehow you seem to bounce back at the other end. Hey, it's building resilience, yes, but at the time what was happening for you as well? You may have had support around you, so you may have been able to get through those tough times. But then there are times where you go, I'm just not coping, my levels are just shot to pieces, I just can't do this. So for me, let's explore that a bit more, because obviously we know that when stress happens, it's our way our body's preparing us for something. Now, in particular, we can look at our lovely brain that will pass through our ancestors. Now, what was that brain known as the reptilian brain or the lizard brain, whatever you like to call it, that sits here in the back and it's there to respond to the danger, to the threat. So the brain is looking for, is this a threat or is this a reward? Hence, when you look at addictions, and that's another session that we could talk about, but pretty much it needs to respond and it needs to act now. So if you were walking across the road and a car comes out of nowhere, you would hope that you would just react. Without even thinking, your body's just quickly reacted on you. So we need that. But sometimes it will just go off for no reason. And you wonder, where are the tigers and where are the bears? You know, are they coming out to get me? Most of the time they're not. Most of the time it's these thoughts that come into your head that start to make you feel this way. So there are other things that we can explore as well. But today we're going to look at self-awareness. How do you identify when enough is enough and you cannot cope anymore? And as I've said to anyone, when you're talking to people, having a conversation, everyone has a bin, a bucket, a bin, a basket, whatever you want to call it. We have stuff that we put in there, right? We put it all in there, and sometimes we put the lid on top of that. So what I want to look at and what we're going to explore on the workshop is what's happening for you at the moment. So we can talk about the signs of stress, but that's another session, and that's something I like to do in person because I'll actually get you to experience what stress is all about. Some people don't even know that they're under stress. So think of a time when you've been working or, you know, just something's going on in your family where it's bang, 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 and all of a sudden you have this quiet moment and all of a sudden you just become quite overwhelmed and flat and get sick. So, you know, you might get the flu, you get rashes, your body's telling you, I can't do this anymore. So if your mind's telling you, your body will also tell you as well. So keep a lookout for that. So, you know, because our body goes along like this, quite the status quo, going along, and then all of a sudden we just stop and then we zoom straight down. So it's important to recognise that. So let's look at my bin, which I'm going to call it. So we talk about the bin. We've talked about what stress is. It's a good thing as well as a bad thing. It depends how you look at it. It's only ever a bad thing when it becomes impacts on your functioning. So for me, I'm going to have a look at some stuff to put in my bin. Post-it notes, done these earlier. All right, so for me, there's some stuff going on in my personal life at the moment. I know those that know me personally know exactly what that's all about. So stuff that's going on for me personally as well. Just even getting this business going and working full-time and 4 boys and studying uni. Sometimes I need to take a breath. But you know what? I love to do what I do, and the stress helps me going. You need stress to sometimes push you and motivate you to do the things that you wouldn't normally do, okay? Because it's a reward on the other end, and you're building that confidence and self-esteem with stuff you wouldn't do. Kids, not in a bad necessarily light, not at all. We're not talking about stress is bad or good, but they're certainly in my bin. So, you know, you've got things like their sports and taking them to different, you know, activities and to friends' places. I have a 15-year-old that pretty much, you know, is sort of doing his own stuff now, but it's still, Mum, you drive me to potty training twice a week, and you know what, you get it, right? But kids aren't, they're a lot of work, and also managing the fights, and I don't want to play Fortnite, and you're playing the Xbox, and I had it last week, and all this stuff, okay? So it is quite a lot of stuff in the bucket. Work, for me, family, I'm going to put money there because money's always something that drives a lot of people. It's not something that drives me, but it certainly is something that you need to pay the bills with. So it's probably in a lot of people's buckets, okay? And also in a conflict. The reason why I say it in a conflict is sometimes we need to look within ourselves to find out what is actually going on for us. And I think, as I said in one of the first videos, there aren't a lot of people out there that are self-aware. We may think we are, but we really don't understand what that actually means, and we need to listen more to what our body is telling us. So, there's my bin. So what do we normally do when we have the bin? Most of us usually put a lid on it. Attention like that, hey? We put that lid on that bin and we keep it all in there because I don't want to really deal with that today. I might deal with that tomorrow. Can you see that that can become an issue down the track? I hope all of you said yes. So a lot of us never really want to pull things out and put them out there in the spotlight and deal with them. Like, let's pull money out. Who's got a budget? Who actually knows how much they spend a week? How much comes in, how much is going out? Or we just go to hard basket. It's a button, we'll just put it down there, okay? You know, kids. How's that impacting on my relationships already within my family, not only with my children, but also with my partner? Because most of the time you spend raising your kids and doing kids, then you come together and you go, who are you again? Yeah, that's right, I married you, didn't I? Yes. So important parts to look at that as well. So these are things that we need to lift the lid off and deal with them.